Good morning, dear friends. I am Dr. Rajin Linus, Associate Professor and HOD of Electrical and Electronics Engineering Department at Sanjay Godawat University, Kolhapur, Maharashtra. Last couple of classes, we come to know what is meant by Cartesian coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system, and spherical coordinate system. How one can convert Cartesian to cylindrical and cylindrical to Cartesian, and different tutorial as well. In this lecture, we are going to learn about if suppose in Cartesian coordinate system, if we increase any three variable, we know the Cartesian coordinate system x, y, z are the variable. So if we increase little bit dx, dy, dz, what will be the line, what is the distance vector, and what will be the vector in this volume element. Similarly, in cylindrical and spherical coordinate system, if we increase the radius or angle d phi, how that small incremental length is going to change and small incremental volume is going to change. All those things we are going to learn today. So, as we know, in this Cartesian coordinate system, the variables are x, y, and z. In Cartesian coordinate, variables are x, y, z, and the vectors are I, j, and k. Right? So, if we take this, if we draw the Cartesian coordinate system, x, we have three axes. Already we have drawn this, just I am repeating for understanding. X, y, z. If you take one point here, this point has the three component. Point P has x, y, and z. This is what we have learned already. Now we know the variables. Now I am increasing the variable in this point some distance of dx along x axis. So this is dx. Then just copy paste this and making it here. So another variable is y. I am going to move this distance as along the y axis dy. Then we have the dz axis, z variable. So if that incremental length, we can write it as dl vector can be dx into the unit vector along the x-axis plus dy into the unit vector along j-axis plus dz into unit vector along k-axis. So like that we can write the volume this incremental length. Similarly, if you draw the volume element, I am taking separately. This is your dy, this is your dx, and this is your dz. So if you draw one volume element, if you take one volume element, the volume element has the sides of dx, dy, dz. Therefore, the small volume element, dv is nothing but dx, dy, dz. You know the three sides multiplied together, so dx, dy, dz. This is what the in Cartesian coordinate system, incremental length and small volume element. Then let me explain about cylindrical coordinate system. In this cylindrical coordinate, as we know, we have the cylinder like this, we have the point here. This point having three component. One is along the distance r, radius along the distance r. Then we have another one along the distance of phi. Then we have another one along the distance of z, right? Since we have the variables are r, y and z. Unit vectors are u r cap, u phi cap and k cap. Since A is same for Cartesian, k is same for Cartesian and cylindrical coordinate system. So now if I increase this element, increase this incremental length, so what we can write? dr, d phi and dz, right? So d phi is along this radius, right? D phi is varying. So we can draw this. Let me take this r, note this r in another place. So this is your r. So now the distance is dr, I am increasing. Then this is your phi variation. So this angle will be d phi. Then this height is, we can write dz. So we can now draw the sides like this. This is your dr and this is your dz, right? This is your dz. Then we have, this is your d phi, this angle. So this arc length is nothing but this is the radius. So this arc length r into d phi. So now the volume incremental length can be written. So if we increase this d phi into d phi, small distance, small angle, so that arc length will be r into d phi. Therefore we can have that incremental length vector can be written as dr into u r gap plus r into d phi into u phi gap plus z is same, so dz into k cap. This is our incremental length. Then let me explain about that volume length. The volume length can be volume is nothing. We know this one side. If you draw the volume element, we can draw like this. We have the volume element is like this, right? So now the sides are dr, r into d phi and dz. Therefore incremental volume is nothing but r. Just multiply these three sides. Therefore r into dr, d phi, dz. So this is for cylindrical coordinate system. Then we can move to Cartesian coordinate system. Sorry, we can move to spherical coordinate system. The spherical coordinate system, we have the circle and we have this x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Then we can have this radius along this. This is nothing but r. So the distance will be, in your case, dr. Then this theta is increasing. Therefore this theta, this is your theta, right? This is your theta. Then arc length here, this angle will be phi, correct? This angle will be phi. Therefore this angle is increasing. So this arc length we can write r into d theta, right? Then we have this distance, then this is the r, this is the one slice, it is cut, this angle is phi, this angle is nothing but what, phi. Therefore if I increase this phi, this will be d phi, right? This will be d phi. Already we come to know this distance will be r into sine theta. This distance will be r into sine theta. We already derived when we explained this spherical coordinate system. So this another side will be r into sine theta, this distance, this arc length will be r into sine theta into d phi. So the sides of this triangle, this small element, small volume element is dr r into d theta, then r into sine theta into d phi. Therefore that incremental length dl vector can be dr into ur cap plus r into d theta into u theta cap plus r into sine theta into d phi into u phi cap. This is the small incremental length. Then the volume, just you should multiply r. So r, two r are there, therefore we can write r square and sine theta dr d theta d phi. So this is the small volume element. So we, in this case, we come to know this all. In Cartesian coordinate system, what will be the volume element, what will be the small incremental length. Cylindrical coordinate system, what will be the volume element and what will be the incremental length. And spherical coordinate system also, what will be the length and what will be the volume element. So next, I hope the topics are very much understandable. Those who have not subscribed the channel, kindly subscribe it. In the next class we will understand the basics behind the electrostatics. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best.